my question is for Dr. Parsons. You said you wanted a definition of the meaning of life.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you said that life is meaningful just by having friendships and finding, exploring, such as Einstein, and that his life was meaningless. Well, what is the point of life to explore and find new worlds if all who will exist and experience it will just end up dead, 6 foot under?
Oh, well.
Wait, I'm not done.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Let's wrap it up.
It's such a good question, I wanted to jump right in.
Because with God, with Jesus Christ, God gives us an everlasting life, therefore giving it meaning.
Very good question. Let me say, though, that I take precisely the opposite view. Martin Heidegger, who was a German philosopher that said almost everything he said was incomprehensible, said one thing that I really liked. He said, it is the fact that life is finite. It is the fact that we shall die that gives our life meaning, that gives us the responsibility of creating meaning in our lives. Yes, we only live 70 years. Okay? 70 years, that's about it. Each day is important. Each day that you let slip by without doing something meaningful in your life is a day that is gone forever. Okay? All the more, the fact that we shall die means all the more that we have the responsibility of squeezing out of every moment of life, every day of life, squeezing as much meaning and significance as we can get. And, you know, it took me 40 some odd years to realize that, but by golly, that's what I'm doing now.
Well, I think it's really odd to talk about I have the responsibility to squeeze meaning out of life. Responsible to whom? Okay, well, then in that case I would say, why is it any different whether somebody acts responsibly or irresponsibility? Your destiny is unrelated to how you act. It doesn't make any difference. For example, you said Russell campaigned against the use of nuclear weapons. Mankind will be wiped out anyway in the heat death of the universe. It really ultimately makes no difference whether mankind ever existed or not, whether one campaigned against nuclear war or one just lived in self-indulgence and hedonism. So it does seem to me that Heidegger is quite wrong here, that Sartre and Camus and others were correct, that ultimately in the absence of God, life becomes absurd. There isn't any objective meaning to life, and the little meanings and projects we invent to fill our lives are really just pretense. They're not really objective meanings.